Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So I welcome back all the devotees again for this wonderful Gita course. Thank you for joining on time, and I apologize for a few minutes of delay. I was just trying to set up things. The previous program ended a little late, so I'm not to blame. We are now in this week resuming the Gita course. The Gita course is not yet finished. We want to cover some very, very important points. And last 2 weeks we had a little bit of a break from the Gita course. We were discussing the pastimes of the Lord. We discussed the Damodar Leela followed by the Govardhan Leela. So that was good, I felt. Once in a while we should. Bhagavad Gita talks about the greatness of Krishna, and Srimad Bhagavatam talks about the sweetness of Krishna. So it is good to know both. If somebody just knows the greatness of Krishna and not the sweetness of Krishna, then they become very hard at heart. Probably, who knows what they will end up doing. And similarly, if one knows only the sweetness of Krishna and not the greatness of Krishna, then they become sahajas, or they always roam around on the mental, emotional, sentimental platform, which is a little bit difficult to bring in, which is basically very difficult to discipline. This Sahaja platform is basically useless. So we need to have both. We need to understand the greatness of Krishna. We need to understand the sweetness of Krishna. So the last 2 weeks we did that. So today we will go back to the greatness of Krishna from the Bhagavad Gita. Of course, Bhagavad Gita also talks about the sweetness of Krishna. And as a matter of fact, when we try to present things, we also present it in such a way so that it's a good balance. So let's start today's session. If you can hear me nicely and if you can see me clearly, please raise your hands. Okay, thank you very much. You can now lower your hands, please. And I will share my screen and we will start with some kirtan. By the way, just for my own curiosity, I would like to know, we discussed the Damodar Leela as well as we discussed the Govardhan Leela. I request the devotees present to type in the chat box which pastime they relished more, Damodar or Govardhan. You just need to type either Damodar or Govardhan, and then that gives me some kind of an idea, just for my curiosity. Okay, people are saying both, Damodar, both, Govardhan, Damodar. Actually both, Govardhan, both. Okay, both was not an option. Devotees are really smart. Krishna Bhakt Bada Chatur. Okay, thank you. We will stop the polling. We'll stop the polling now. I'll go towards the presentation. Basically, I understand you like both. That's my takeaway. So here is the screen. You're able to see the screen? Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादिशतारिणे नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादिशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंदा जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यामुना तीरवनचारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यामुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यामुना तीरवनचारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यामुना तीरवनचारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे युग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय. Thank you very much for your enthusiastic participation in the Kirtan. I just hope that when the Kirtan is going on, you people are also doing Kirtan and that this is not a Kirtan but a Sankirtan. So, okay. The topic for today's session is very interesting topic. I often call this session as the make or break session of the Bhagavad Gita course, especially what we are going to discuss generally every session, because it's online, it's not possible to extend more than 1 or 1.5 hours. So we break it in 2 parts. Ideally, these sessions were designed for a classroom of 2 hours, 15 minutes, because we cover massive concepts in one session. But because of this polling and because of feedback and hand raises and so many other things, we question and answers, we not able to devote the full time. And also online platform is a little flickering platform. Sometimes people connect to these sessions and parallelly do various other activities. So seeing the short attention span of the people in general, including mine, we have reduced the scope of the sessions into 2 sessions. However, the next session is going to be a make or break session. It is, some people, they're not able to handle the information which we take out from the Bhagavad Gita and give them. And especially this session also. This clarifies so many concepts about God and Krishna consciousness. So please watch out for these 2 sessions. That's why we call it Who is the Real Boss? Because people have wrong conceptions about the boss. So let's begin this session on that note. But before we begin, let me offer my humble obeisances to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of ISKCON. And he's my spiritual grandfather. I keep saying this all the time because there is a father and son relationship between the spiritual master and the disciple. So the disciple of Srila Prabhupada is my spiritual master. So basically, Srila Prabhupada is my grandfather, spiritual grandfather. So let's offer this session and the discussion of this session and the outcome of this session. If people get encouraged, it's very good, it's very ecstatic. If people don't get encouraged, then it's a purifying experience for me. In both the ways, at least I'm benefiting. In the earlier case, if people get encouraged, I'm benefiting by offering some insignificant service to the Guru Parampara. If people don't get benefited, then I'm getting purified. So let's offer this happiness that will come out of this session and all the experiences, all the knowledge of the session for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna by chanting the pranam mantras. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahem Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswata Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langhayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Harihi Om. Tat Sat. Okay, the agenda for today, we'll understand the concept of boss. Is our real boss a person or an impersonal light? So we are now finally into that discussion, which we have been waiting for since so many weeks. And then, most important, especially for the people of India, are there many gods or just one God? That's the agenda for today. And let's start with the concept of boss. I was searching in the Google, I just typed boss. I don't know, Google gives different results to different people. This is the image which came in the first page for me. I was kind of could relate with this image. This is a general image of a boss in everybody's mind, more or less. Someone very authoritative, little rude, not very pleasing, pride, um, not a very good example of a boss. So all of us may have had some bosses or some reporting authorities at some point in our life. Some of the bosses we found good, some of the bosses we found not very good. I too had good authorities and bad authorities. But by the way, even before we go deeper into the discussion of the concept of boss, I want all those people who like their boss, please raise your hand if you like your boss. Okay, all these people, they like their boss. Okay. Okay, so around 15 people are saying that they like their boss, and the others, they don't like their boss. Okay, that's good. Please lower your hands. I have forgotten to make someone as the co-host. Some people are saying hate. I hate my boss. Naveen Kumar is saying I hate my boss. Anyways, it varies. Over the course of time, when we'll understand who's our real boss, then we will see that. So another concept, another ideology which comes in, which chips in when we discuss about boss, is that everyone wants to be the boss. There is a concept called as be your own boss. Are you tired of working for someone else's dreams? A new world awaits you. Be your own boss. Do whatever you want. And nobody is there to give you any feedback. There is a constant competition, basically, to become the boss. In the name of career growth, growing up in the ladder, everyone wants to be the boss sooner or later. But have we ever thought why people want to become the boss? Can we get some answers from the devotees? You can type it out in your chat. Why do people want to become boss? What do you think? Please go ahead and type. Sindhu Sablok Mataji is telling power, control. Yes, it feels good to be able to dominate others and have their say. Dakshayani Mataji, to rule the self and self-ego. Deepmala Golani. Prachi Parihar Mataji is telling power, authority. Shrija Mataji. Pinaki Ranjanaich, to get the authority. Okay. Naveen Kumar, who hates his boss, is now saying that I like no boss policy. Sorry, but I just remembered what you said earlier. Okay. Independence. Balaji Radhakrishnan Prabhu is telling he likes independence. So therefore he likes no boss. That's why he wants to become the boss, basically. Want to be involved in decision making. Vinita Mataji is telling become individual. How do you become individual if you become the boss? Okay, maybe you'll be able to make your individuality and presence felt. Venkat Nagendra says that he likes the freedom by becoming a boss. Avijit Patra, to lead the team. Srinivas Ramakrishnan, to do good. Wanted to show authority, to work on our own manner, to work less, so I want to become the boss. More higher decisions and independence, control, strength, and immunity. Basically, all of them are saying the same thing. Because people think, Khushi Wadhwa is telling, because people think boss has no one to stop them, so they can rule over absolute authority, meaning Shachi Tandon, because enjoying power and independence. So basically, it's moving around power and control and authority, most of them, majority of them. Some people say they can delegate the work if they have the boss. Okay. Okay. Now the poll is over. Huh? Okay. Jay Prakash Pandey Prabhu says that so that I can guide and share others of my knowledge and experience. Do you really need to be the boss to do that? To help people realize their potential. Again, do you need to be the boss for that? Okay. Okay, thank you. I got so many to satisfy your ego. Abhishek Mishra Prabhu says, Deepa Suresh Mataji says, it's mostly the freedom that comes with it. Okay, so different people have different flavors to work. So you get your own space to work with if you become the boss. To make a change, Suresh Babu. Yes, sometimes when you're not the boss, it's a little difficult. People don't take you seriously, no matter what you try to bring in. Until you're the boss, they don't listen to you. Okay, enough. Thank you very much for your inputs. We will stop the polling now. So there were so many inputs why we should become the boss. But if someone told you that if you become the boss, you're not getting paid for it. And of course, there's needless to say that you can be removed at any time. And being this boss in the office space or in any space is not going to help you in any way in your in your spiritual development, then I think very few people will be interested. Generally, one of the major incentives to become a boss is the incentive monetarily the boss position tries to bring in. That is one of the major reasons. In my previous seminars, all the feedback, all the inputs which I got from people, the majority of them may move around this point. The core idea within the core of the heart is it feels nice to have control over people and things. Now, this can be put in a very sweet coated way, or it can be also justified in many ways that yes, when I have the control over people and things, then things will go in the right direction. Of course, that is correct. Now, there has to be a proper leader, otherwise things will not work. But what is the basic emotion which is there in the core of the heart? Let's talk about that first. That is that it feels nice to have control over people and things. Now, very rarely we meet a person who says that I don't feel nice to control people and things. And next is being a subordinate is not very great. There's another core sentiment which is there in the heart. Servant is not a word of pride. How many of you will say, or how many of us will rather say, why to exclude me, that I'm your servant? It's very difficult. It's one thing to say, we can do the lip service. Aapka das, something, aapka sevak, aapki seva mein hazir hai, this and that. But what does the word sevak or das or servant really mean? We have to understand. So therefore, sometimes people feel that being subordinate is not very great. Primarily speaking, our descent, or let's say our eviction from the spiritual world, was primarily because of this reason. We wanted to be the Lord and the boss of everything that we survey. I wanted to lord over the material nature. Everything which I can see or survey around me, I wanted to have control over it. I wanted to have it because it felt nice. Why? Because I saw Krishna doing the same. Krishna was having absolute control over people and things in the spiritual world. And he was enjoying. But somehow or the other, this material mentality came into me, the sense of enviousness, rebellion came into me. I forgot my constitutional position. I forgot what is true happiness. I forgot what the soul really wants and demands and what the soul relishes. Instead, I fell into the trap. And then at that time, I thought that let me just try. At that time, I had no intention to be away from Krishna because we were with Krishna. But at that time, we had not much intention to be away with Krishna. We thought that let me just try it out. And then we came in the material world, but then we got stuck here in the modes of material nature, and then false ego after false ego, sins after sins, offenses after offenses, sense gratification after sense gratification, and then billions and trillions and zillions and countless number of lifetimes have passed. We are stuck. It was like a quicksand which we entered, and now we are not able to go back. Why? Because we wanted to be the boss, we wanted to be the enjoyer, we wanted to be the lord of everything, lord over people, lord over the nature. We wanted to basically enjoy separately from Krishna. We forgot that our real enjoyment is there in the our real enjoyment is to cooperate in the enjoyment of Krishna. That is real happiness. People in the spiritual world are simply doing that. Govardhan Leela we discussed. What were the people doing? They were simply cooperating with the plan and the mission of Krishna. Krishna said, stop worshipping Indra, who has been worshipped from thousands of years. Instead, you worship Govardhan. Why? Because Krishna wanted it. So when we cooperate in the enjoyment of Krishna, that is Krishna consciousness. And that is real enjoyment. Just like all the different body parts, when they cooperate so that the food goes and nourishes the stomach, then the hand enjoys, the leg enjoys, the ears enjoy, because they get the nourishment. If the hand starts saying that this stomach simply sitting around in one place, not doing anything, and I have to work so much, I have to walk to so many places, mind can say, or the intelligence can say, I have to work so hard, think so hard to get this much amount of Lakshmi so that you, lazy fellow, can be fed. And if these head, leg, and hands, if they rebel and they say that, okay, we will no longer serve the stomach, then is that a wise proposition? No, it's not a wise proposition, because simply by nourishing the stomach, everybody else gets nourished. So this is just a material analogy I'm giving. Of course, no material analogy can explain any spiritual concept, because spirituality or spiritual concept, especially Krishna consciousness, is ananta. It is achintya, inconceivable. And when we extend these material analogies, we find a disparity. We find that there is a huge gap between the actual spiritual world. So therefore, I say that these material analogies are basically called as Shakh Chandra Nyaya. Shakh Chandra, Shakh means branches, Chandra means the moon, Nyaya means the concept or the approach to present something, philosophy, basically. So for example, if the child asks the mother, where is the moon? The mother will say, do you see these two branches of the tree? In between the branches of the tree, the illuminated object, round object, which is as big as the thumb or the fingernail of your thumb, that object is moon. So this is called Shakha Chandranaya. She used the Shakha or the branches to explain the position of the moon. Now the question is the moon really between the branches? The answer is no, the moon is not between the branches. But something, when used to explain a concept which is higher, in such a way so that a person gets an idea or some idea, and then this kind of speech or this kind of art of effective speaking is called as Shakh Chandra Nyaya. So the Shakh Chandra Nyaya of understanding that we have to cooperate. Our real happiness lies in cooperating with the happiness of Krishna. Our real enjoyment, eternal, blissful, full of knowledge enjoyment, lies in cooperating or basically cooperating with the enjoyment of Krishna. So the Shakh Chandra Nyaya for this is the stomach being fed by all parts of the body, and therefore we cannot rebel. So we all want to be the boss, but here is a statement from the Bhagavad Gita, 5.29. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shantim rakshati. You can again say it in another meter. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shantim rakshati. Whichever way you want to recite, you please recite, but please do recite. Some people ask me, why are you so blissful all the time? One of the major reasons why I'm blissful is because I'm chanting Hare Krishna every day, fixed number of rounds. Or let's say at least I have fixed a minimum of 16. So at least minimum I chant 16. Of course, I try to go more, 21, 25, whenever time permits. On the days of Ekadashi, I have done 64 sometimes. Once I did, okay, I'm not praising myself, but I'm just saying that I have a fixed number of rounds for myself. That is the major reason why I'm blissful, because I have my personal time with Krishna in which nobody else is there. It's just me and Krishna at that point of time. I'm just hearing the sound vibration of Krishna. And the more I chant, the more the ignorance from my consciousness is removed, the more blissful I feel, the more connected I feel. This is one of the reasons. And another reason is that I recite many, many shlokas. One of my friends was sharing with me in a WhatsApp message that where there is shloka, there is no shoka. And then if we do not read the verses, then life becomes worst. Like that he was sharing. So where there is shloka, there is no shoka. I feel it's very important to understand this point. What is the most beautiful thing in the world? The most beautiful thing in the whole world, in the entire creation, is Bhagavad Gita, because these are the words of Krishna. Now, there is no difference between the person Krishna and in the material world. My voice is different from my appearance. But in the spiritual world, everything is absolute. The name of Krishna and Krishna are non-different. So similarly, the voice of Krishna and the beautiful moon-like face of Krishna, they are non-different. The words of Krishna and the personality of Krishna are non-different. And because this is coming from Krishna, so Bhagavad Gita is the most beautiful thing in the whole creation. And let's see what Krishna says there. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. I call it the peace formula of Bhagavad Gita. If somebody is very agitated, not peaceful, struggling, not at ease, then I generally tell them this shloka. That why are you taking so many self-created responsibilities on your head and drowning under that burden of that mountain? Please understand that Bhokta Ram Yagya Tapasam. Please know that the ultimate beneficiary, you are sacrificing so many things, you're taking so many austerities, you go out 5 o'clock in the morning, you catch a local train, and then you go to the next city to work, and then you work out the whole day, and then you catch the return train at 8 p.m. in the night, you return at 10 p.m. to the home, and then things are not good at home. You're doing all this thinking that you'll get something in return, or your family members will be happy with you. And you're taking so much trouble. If you're thinking, if I will not earn, then my child cannot go to school and will not be able to eat or sleep. In many cases, I'll not be able to mate. I'll not be able to defend if I don't have money. Please understand, whatever austerities or sacrifices you do, the original beneficiary of that is Krishna. Why? Because it belongs to Krishna. Just like a mason worker, when he comes, he may think, I am just bringing in the iron rods and the bricks and the cement, and whole day I'm working for it. So if he starts thinking, if this belongs to me, the building belongs to me, then he's a big fool. Because the building belongs to the person who has provided the ingredients and the resources and the funds. Similarly, everything belongs to Krishna. So therefore, whatever sacrifice and whatever austerity we do, the original beneficiary of that is Krishna. So this is one point to understand. Second, he is the supreme lord of all planets. So he is the original boss, basically. We are all trying to become the boss, but Hare Krishna, the position of boss is already taken. And that position is belonging to Krishna. And he's not an ordinary boss. He is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Somebody is the boss of their home. Somebody is the boss of their community. Somebody is the boss of... I was reading a conversation of Srila Prabhupada, and he was talking to one of his disciples. The name of his disciple was His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj. He was known as the best manager in ISKCON. Brilliant, genius, absolute genius. So he was sharing in one of the anecdotes that there were so many responsibilities on him, and Prabhupada's style of management is completely different. Great management schools are now referring to one of the letters which he wrote about management. He summarized management in 2 lines. He said that management means keep everybody engaged and provide fresher challenges. Just 2 lines. And of course, there was more. He explained some tits and bits here, but this is what I remember. That make sure that everybody is engaged as per their nature and keep giving fresher and fresher challenges to both of them, to all the people. That's why all the book distributors, when they would come back from distributing the book, and they would present the distribution figures to Prabhupada, and they would say, what next, Prabhupada? Prabhupada would say, double it. So his instruction was to double it all the time. And then he would very nicely engage them, praise them. Once one devotee told, Srila Prabhupada, I have distributed a book in the sun for the last 4 hours. Do you think I can now go to India and distribute some books? Srila Prabhupada told, you are like Narad Muni. You can go wherever and distribute books wherever you want. So in this way, Srila Prabhupada touched each and every soul. And whenever I meet any Srila Prabhupada disciple, the way he or she glorifies Prabhupada, it is unbelievable how he was not just the boss of the picture which I showed. He was the real boss who was not just ruling their spiritual lives and material lives, but he was ruling their heart. How did he become so attractive so that everybody was surrendering their entire life to them? You go to the Srila Prabhupada's Samadhi in Mayapur and you stand there like this for 5 minutes. You'll see minimum 500 people will come and pay obeisances to the Srila Prabhupada Samadhi. And you just see, sometimes a black person will come, sometimes a white person will come, sometimes a brown person will come. Sometimes a child will come, sometimes an elderly person will come, sometimes transgenders will come, and sometimes it's unbelievable. Infants will come. I was standing with one of my friends. At that time, I was not full-time into Krishna consciousness, means I was not as a monk. I was trying to study and earn. Basically, I was working abroad, parallelly trying to study. He was telling me, see, at that time, my name was Ajit. My maiden name is Ajit Kumar Sharma. So he was telling Ajit, you are trying to earn so much money and you're parallelly trying to study so much. What will happen if you die? How many people will miss you? Or do you really think that if you make a house, some 500 people will visit in 5 minutes? Or if we bury you somewhere, will people come and give so many obeisances to you? I said, no way. I'm not sure whether someone will keep a photograph of mine also in my family. So he said, but you just see Srila Prabhupada. He basically rejected his graduation degree because of the British oppression and other things. So he said that, see this person, he does not even have a graduation degree. And he came with just 40 rupees to the West at the age of 70, but see the impact which he has created. People are creating United Nations, and all that is happening, he told me like this, that all that is happening is that from the last 20 years, if you track, only the number of flags are increasing, but there is no unity. This is real United Nations. If you go to places like Vrindavan, Mayapur, or Jagannath Puri, you will see that is real United Nations. People from all over the world, they are coming and they are standing in the Mangal Aarti at 4:30. Next to you will be a African, next to you will be a Caucasian, next to you will be a person from Europe or South India, North India, Rajasthanis. That is the real United Nations. They are all united for the purpose of serving Krishna. So that Tamal Krishna Maharaj was sharing in an anecdote that Srila Prabhupada once called me in the room and he said that the expanse of the spiritual world is so much that even great personalities like Narad, Shiva and Brahma cannot even begin to imagine how big it is. Then what to speak of us? And 3/4 of the entire creation is Tripad Vibhuti. 3/4 of the entire creation, a little bit more than 3/4, is the spiritual world, Vaikunthas. Various Vaikuntha planets and various realms in Vaikuntha also, the highest being Golok Vrindavan. And then Ekpad Vibhuti, 1/4 is the material universes, where people who are not qualified to stay there are sent here for a rehabilitation. In this 1/4, Prabhupada gives an example that assume there is a bag of mustard seeds. How many mustard seeds are there? 50 kg mustard seeds, innumerable. So like that, innumerable universes are there in the material realm or in the material world. And in that one such universe, in each universe, there are innumerable living entities and innumerable planets. And in one such universe, there is a planet called as Earth. And in that Earth, there are many, many people, but there is one, there is one country called as America, in which there are many states, but there is one state called as Los Angeles. And in Los Angeles, there are many, many places, but there is one place called as such and such place. And there is one person there in such and such place called Tamal Krishna Maharaj or Tamal Krishna. And somehow he thinks that he's very important. That's how Prabhupada ended. And then Tamal Krishna Maharaj writes that I felt really small at that time. I was coming to Srila Prabhupada with so many problems related to devotees and management and this and that and affairs to discuss. But when Srila Prabhupada gave this understanding to me, I felt so small. And after that, he didn't try to, basically bug Srila Prabhupada with so many problems. So we have to understand, he is Sarva Lok Maheshwaram. Krishna is Sarva Lok Maheshwaram. Somebody is a boss of an office or a apartment, community, 10 people, 50 people. Nobody can claim that they are the boss. Some people say I'm the boss of the country. Some people say I'm the boss of, higher than country, no one goes. No one can claim I'm the boss of Earth. No one can claim I'm the boss of the galaxy. Nobody can claim I'm the boss of the universe. No one can claim I'm the boss of all material and spiritual universes. But there is one person who is actually the boss. Sarva Lok Maheshwara. And look at his disposition. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. The benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities. The person who is in complete control. You and me are not in complete control. We are suffering. But he is in complete control. Whatever he wants happens. So here is a person who owns everything, who is the beneficiary of everything, who is the supreme lord of all planets and demigods. That means absolute authority. Nobody can, everybody, all these demigods also, they are also reporting to someone. But if there is only any one person in the whole creation who is not reporting to anybody, that is Krishna. And lastly, this person who owns everything, who controls everything, is my best well-wishing friend. Just imagine, how much peace will this give you? The owner of everything, the controller of everything, the biggest possible influential personality in the whole of creation, in all of time, is my best well-wishing friend. And this will give so much peace that yes, he's there to take care of me. Sometimes we have friends who tell us, don't worry, I'll take care of you. But we have doubt. Can he take care of me? If such and such thing happens, what will he do? But Krishna's case is not like that. He is capable to do anything and everything. So this is the peace formula given in the Bhagavad Gita. Of course, only when a devotee explains to you, you will be able to understand. Otherwise, if a Mayavadi or if an impersonalist or an atheist explains to you, you'll never understand. That's why Krishna says it is a secret. Bhagavad Gita is a secret, open secret. So the problem here is that we all want to be boss, but the position of the ultimate boss is already taken. God is the ultimate boss. Krishna is the ultimate boss. Now, the next part of the discussion is, if he is the ultimate boss, what is he? Is he a person or an energy? Energy meaning to say that God has no form. If that form is there, then it is not permanent. It's ever changing. Or if you say he's a person, that means he has a personal form. He has feelings. He has likes. He has dislikes. He has friends. He has an address. So what do you think the God is? So maybe devotees can again start typing in the chat box. What do you think? Is God a person or energy? Okay, Sindhu Mataji says he's an energy. Chitresh Pandit says person. Naveen Kumar says both person and energy. Abhishek Mishra Prabhu says person, energy, person, energy, person and energy and everything. Okay, confused, don't know, person, both, person with enormous energy. Okay, that makes sense. Combination of both. God is a very beautiful person. Okay, force of supreme power, energy, supreme power. Okay, I think I've got the answer. Please stop the polling now. Please stop it. We'll go into the discussion. Little bit disappointed that after 8 sessions, still there is a difference in opinion. I was thinking that I've given a complete picture and nobody will have any other opinion, but okay, we should be prepared for everything. So let me again explain you the philosophy of Krishna consciousness in a nutshell. This is from the Bible. The Bible says God created mankind in his own image. So when we stand in front of a mirror, do we see an energy or an image? Or do we see a person or an energy? Now, we can, what do you say, extrapolate from this statement that if I have an image, in all my existence, I have never imagined or dreamt of or even conceived of a time when I did not have an image. I was also always having some kind of a form. Either I had a subtle form or else I had a gross, most of the times I had a gross form. I always had a form, and the Bible says that God created mankind in his own image. Is it really logical to say that God has no form? If he has no form, then how can when I stand in front of the mirror, I have a form? So this is just common logical argument to keep in mind. However, I don't want to give many arguments here. I just want to reveal to you what the scripture says. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.11. Vadanti tatta tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdayate. So there are 3. India is a land of philosophies, and all the so-called philosophy you read in all the different religious scriptures, the source or the central point where it all emanates from is Bharatvarsh. So learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance in 3 ways. What are the 3 ways? Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagwan. Okay, who are transcendentalists? Transcendentalists are those people who have understood that I'm not this body, but I'm a spirit soul. So that is the minimum qualification. Transcendentalists mean I'm not this body, I'm the spirit soul, and then they are not engaged in sense gratification. Basically, they are not on the material platform. So these transcendentalists, they understand the non-dual substance or the absolute truth in three ways. In the way of Brahman, or in the way of Paramatma, or in the way of Bhagwan. So what is Brahman? Brahman is supreme power in the form of energy. Somebody said in the chat, he is supreme power in the form of energy. So exactly that is the case. Brahman means supreme power in the form of energy. Paramatma means omnipresent and omnipotent form of the Lord. And lastly, Bhagavan means to understand, or Bhagavan realization means to understand that this personality or this Brahman, Paramatma, whatever we are speaking, he is a person, he's very, very merciful, and he is inconceivable. Because I cannot fully understand him, so I'm trying to understand him in various ways. Some people call him Brahman, some people call him Paramatma, some people call him XYZ. The Bhagwan realization is to understand that he is a person. Brahman realization is to understand that he is the supreme power in the form of energy. That means he has no form, no name, no qualities, nothing, just some light. That is Brahman understanding. Paramatma understanding means yes, he's there everywhere. He's omnipresent. He's there in every atom, everywhere, and he's omnipotent. He's all powerful. And in that way, he is acting everywhere. And Bhagwan means he's a person, very, very merciful, inconceivable for my tiny brain. So these are three levels of realizations: Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagwaniti, Shabdayate. Now let's examine all these realizations one by one. What do you see here? On the left hand side, you will see there is a valley. On the right hand side, you will see a closer picture of a valley. The point which I'm trying to make here is that mountain at a distance looks like a green sheet. But when we go closer, get a little more clarity of the trees and rocks. We get a little more clarity of that from far. Suppose if I'm going to Tirumala, Tirupati, okay, the seven hills. So from far off, if I see, it just looks like some piece, some irregular piece of surface covered by a greenish, bluish, brownish bed sheet. But when I go closer, when I actually go to ISKCON Tirupati, and when I take the darshan, have the prasad, and check into a room, freshen up, and when I'm actually coming out of my room and trying to move out of the temple on my way to Tirumala Tirupati also, that time I will see that actually it is not just a green sheet. There are some trees, rocks, and there are some hill ranges. I can see I have more clarity basically. And then when we actually go towards the steps of Tirumala Tirupati, then we will see that this was not just a green sheet, not just trees and rocks, but actually there are people living here. They speak a particular language, they eat particular things, they dress in a particular way, they like few things, they dislike few things. And they are all devotees of Lord Venkatesh. Imagine, earlier I was just saying, Tirumala is just a green sheet. Later on, when I progressed in my realization, or let's say when I went closer to Tirumala, when I became more faithful in my understanding towards Tirumala, I saw that it is not just a green sheet, but it is trees, rocks, mountain valleys, ranges, buses, roads I could see. But when I went even closer, or let's say when I went closest, I saw the beautiful transcendental form of Sri Venkatesh. And when I saw that, I realized, actually speaking, Tirumala is an expansion of the blissful form of Tirumala, Sri Venkatesh. It is because Sri Venkatesh is there, that's why Tirumala is there. So strictly speaking, Tirumala is not different from Venkatesh. And Venkatesh is not different from Tirumala. I'll give you another example to help you understand this concept of Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So there are three kinds of people who worship the sun or the nature in various ways. The first is here shown on my leftmost side. Here I show, looks like a Buddhist who's worshipping the rays of the sun which are coming in the room. This can be compared to the Brahman understanding. What is the shape of the rays? There's no shape. What is the form of the rays? There's no form. What is the name of the rays? There's no name. But yes, it is supremely powerful. One ray, the first ray of the sun which comes into the atmosphere is enough to remove all the darkness, all the odor, and all the fear. The first ray of sun, that's why it's all powerful. So someone can worship in that way. A little higher understanding than this worship of the rays of the sun, or can be compared to as worshipping the form of God who has no form. A little higher than that is to see a form, actually. So some people worship the sun globe. So in Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Orissa, there is a very famous festival called as Chhat Puja, which is celebrated. I have been a part of it sometimes, I know. Very, very religious process, very, very austere process. Especially the people of Bihar and Jharkhand, they have a lot of devotion for this festival. They clean the roads. And anybody who's observing this vrata, they get a lot of, what can I say, VIP treatment everywhere. And cooking is done on the wood and proper. They sleep on the floor for 3-4 days. And in that way they observe. And they have to go in the morning before the sun rises, some muhurtas before the sunrise, and they have to prepare a plate of offering which contains some lamps, some kind of sweets, some sugar canes, some bananas, and they wait for the sun to rise. And when the sun rises, they do circumambulation, and people offer milk to the sun as arghya. So it is a very clear way to understand that they are not actually worshipping the sun rays. We are worshipping the sun globe. And there are various geets, sangeets, in which they are requesting the sun lord, sun demigod, to rise. Very, very beautiful songs. Since I've been born and brought up in that area, and my mother also used to do, so I know this. I used to have some photos. We used to go to a dam or a river, and I would see thousands of people all around the river, all waiting with their offerings. And the family members also accompany. Generally, the ladies do more. Gents also do. And there will be small lamps in the dark, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning, small lamps all across. The whole river seemed to be enlightened. There were lights all around the river, and there was a great formation. And this was my first experience of. I had my first experience of, generally all the time we have this body consciousness. I'm a man, you are a woman, and he's a cat, he's a dog. But I saw that while doing this demigod worship of Chhat Puja, both men and women were in water, and they were all trying to offer arghya. And there is a particular dress code which generally they wear. But I didn't find anybody lusty around. Everybody was just focused on the process. Everybody was just focused on the puja. Everybody was just focused on the prasadam distribution. Everybody was just focused on taking care of the safety, cooperating with each other. So many people, especially in Jharkhand and Bihar, even the elite class of people, they come onto the ghats and they stand like a beggar asking for some prasad. So the consciousness was little divine, not at the bodily platform. Normally, if you go to a sea beach or if you go to a river where men and women are having bath together, it is a trouble. Either it invites trouble or it leads to trouble. Or at least it's not a very good scene to see. But here it was something different. So it was clear to me that people who worship the sun rays and the people who worship the sun demigod as such, the sun globe as such, there is a difference in their consciousness. Let's say they are more evolved. So this worshipping of sun globe can be compared to worshipping of the Paramatma form. The Paramatma is described as the 400 form of Vishnu, who is as much as the size of your fist. The yogis, they are seeing in the core of their heart. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santay sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti. So the yogis, their perfection is that they are just eternally seeing the form, the 400 inconceivably beautiful form of the Lord in the core of their heart. So that is Paramatma realization, worshipping a form. But higher than this, some people are worshipping the sun rays, some people are worshipping the sun globe. Higher than this is to understand that this sun globe, inside this sun globe, there is a person who is actually the sun. His name is Vivaswan. He wears a particular kind of dhoti. He has a thread all around him. What do you call? Yagyopavit, a janau, a sacred thread. And then he also has 4 hands. And he travels in a chariot of 7 horses. His name is Vivaswan. And unlike the scientists say that sun is a place where only hydrogen and helium and neon gases are reacting and bursting, but that's not the case. Sun is a place where it's called as a lok, Surya lok. Lok is a place, according to the Sanskrit dictionary, lok means a place which is inhabitable. Very recently, the scientists have discovered that there's something called as fire bacteria. That means there is life existing in fire. But we know it from our Vedic scriptures long, long ago that sun is a higher planetary system where the material life or the standard of material life is thousands of times better than the earthly planetary systems, we can say like that. It's just that the bodily constitution of people are different. Here, the bodily constitution contains more of earth. Similarly, in the Vibhavari is a place where Varun, the demigod of water and all the aquatics, he stays. So there, the bodily composition is different. Similarly, in the sun planet, the bodily composition is different. But we know of people like the sun demigod himself and Narad Muni and all the other celestials. They don't need to sit in a Sputnik or wear a astronaut dress to go from one with a oxygen mask. No, they have the ability to adapt themselves as they visit various planets. And Surya Loka is mentioned in so much detail in the planets, in the Vedic scriptures. There is the Ganga flows on the sun, inconceivable, but that's how it is. We have to take from the Vedic injunctions. Ganga is there, Yamuna is there. Krishna has been there. That's why Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Imam vivasvate yogam proktavan aham avyayam vivasvan manave prahar manur ikshvakave bravet. Krishna says that I instructed this supreme imperishable science of Bhakti Yoga first to Vivaswan. Now, if Vivaswan is just an energy or just something, who can talk to an energy? There is light energy in this room. How can I talk to it? So Vivaswan is a person and Krishna is a person. And the Acharyas have commented that when Krishna was saying the Bhagavad Gita to Vivaswan, at that time, even Arjuna was there in some other form. And that is why when Arjuna is asking these many questions, Krishna sometimes say that both you and me, O Parth, have had many, many births. But the difference is that I remember all of them and you don't. So, first he told it to Vivaswan. And then Vivaswan gave this knowledge to Manu, the father of mankind, from whom Manushya comes. And Manu gave it to Ikshvaku. The Ikshvaku is the dynasty in which Lord Ramchandra has appeared. And in this way, this knowledge was given. So, can we say this? Do we really feel that Krishna, when he was speaking the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he was all right? When he came to this verse, maybe he took some drugs, or maybe he went crazy, or maybe he was delusional. maybe he lied. All the other 699 verses are truth, but this one verse, he was just imagining and he was just hallucinating, and he was telling that I first told this to sun god called Vivaswan. Vivaswan gave it to Manu. Manu gave it to Ikshvaku. No. If we believe in Krishna, which we should, then we have to trust everything which he has said. And if he has said that Vivaswan is there, he's the presiding deity of the sun planet. Because of him, the sun planet is working. Sun planet is rising and setting as we see from our mundane eyes. And the light is there and the imperishable duty is there. So now that we have this understanding, we see the sun as the rays of the sun. The sun rays are not different from sun. Sun globe is not different from sun. Vivaswan is not different from sun. But strictly speaking, if we ask you who or what is the sun, what will the answer be? The answer should be ideally, or the person who has the highest knowledge will say sun is the sun demigod whose name is Vivaswan. A person with a little bit lower knowledge will say the sun globe is the sun. And a person with least knowledge will say these sun's rays are nothing but the sun. Now, can we say that any of them are wrong? Answer is no, nobody is wrong. However, the degrees of maturity and the degrees of realization is different. The most matured one will see the sun as a person, and the least matured one will see the sun as the rays. Okay? So 3 ways in which we can perceive the sun rays, the sun globe, and the presiding deity of the sun, or Vivaswan. Am I clear till now? Are you all with me till now? If yes, then please raise your, or maybe you just type yes in the chat box. If you are confused, just say no, or I'm not sure, I'm dissatisfied, I didn't get you. Okay. One person is confused. Okay. Yes, but questions. Who always has some questions. Questions is a sign of intelligence. Okay. Thank you. Most of you are yes. I think majority of you are yes. So you are with me and you are able to understand that there is the sun rays, the sun globe, and the presiding deity, the person sun. So similarly, we can again extrapolate this concept by saying that God is also understood in 3 different ways. Please see my laser pointer. God is understood as a ray of light, which is all powerful, some Shakti, some power, which has no form, no name, no qualities, nothing. This is Brahman. Realizing God as the Paramatma form seated in the core of the heart, not just the human being's heart, but in the heart of the rain also, in the heart of the frog also, in the heart of the lion also, in the heart of the tree also, in the heart of the mountain also. Sarva Vyapi. This understanding is Paramatma understanding. And understanding God, that he is a person. He wears a yellow dhoti. He has a Vaijayanti mala made out of 5 different kinds of flowers. Although he is supremely qualified and supremely capable, but he chooses to herd the cows. He plays the flute. He is bluish in complexion. He puts a peacock feather on his head, which is always bending towards the left-hand side. And his name is Krishna. And he is ever youthful, and he is 15 to 16 years old in appearance. So this is Bhagwan realization. So the point which I'm trying to make is Vadanti tattva tattva vidas Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagwan iti shabdayate. So the supreme absolute truth, that non-dual substance, is understood in 3 ways: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. Just like in the previous, we understood that the person who understands the sun as the sun demigod, Vivaswan, has the highest knowledge compared to the person who understands the sun as the rays. All of them are right. I repeat, all of them are right. But the highest and the most mature person is the one who sees sun as the sun demigod, Surya Narayan. Similarly, all these realizations are correct, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. But the highest and the closest and the most faithful realization of God is to understand that God is a person. He has a name, he has qualities, he has pastimes, he has an address. chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We have the name of Krishna and we have the address of Krishna and we are all going to Krishna. This is Bhagwan realization. So I hope all of you have now understood what is Brahman, what is Paramatma, and what is Bhagwan. What are the various levels of these realization? All of them are right. However, the most advanced realization of God is to know God as a person. The least mature realization of God is to know God as a light, Brahmajyoti. I want to merge in God. Because I have this form, so this form is giving me so many misery. Some days my hand pain, some days my head pain, some days this, that. So this form is the cause of misery. So if I have no form, then there will be no misery. That is how these Mayavadis or the Brahmavadis, they think. The form is the cause of misery. And if the aim of my life is Satchit Anand, eternal bliss, knowledge, and eternality, then I should definitely not have any form. Because I have not seen any form, or at least I have not understood any form which is free of all problems. Because of their limitation in knowledge, they think that God is formless. But then God made man in his own image. How does that statement stand correct? Similarly, Paramatma realization. The yogis, they are constantly sitting and meditating on the form of the Lord. But there is no service aspect there. Both in the Brahma Jyoti as well as in the Paramatma realization, there is lack of service aspect. The yogis just want to sit and just feel happy looking at God. Probably if God says, give me a glass of water, we are not very sure what will they do. So the devotees, yoginam api sarvesham madgatenantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo mataha. Krishna says, that person who is always thinking of me, yoginam api sarvesham madgatenantaratmana, always thinking of me all the time with love and devotion. Now, how can you think of someone? Only when you have an idea about the form of that person, the name of that person, the qualities of it. How do you think about someone? You meditate on some quality. Oh, Krishna lifted Govardhan. You meditate on the pastimes. Krishna is Bhaktvatsal. You meditate on the name by chanting Hare Krishna. You meditate on the beautiful form, the lotus feet of Krishna. So one who is always meditating, yoginam api sarvesham, he is the best amongst all the yogis. That means Krishna is saying there is karma yogi, jnana yogi, dhyan yogi, bhakti yogi. The best is the devotee. Yoginam api sarvesham madhyatena antaratanam shraddhavan bhajate yoma. So here comes the bhaj, the word, the bhaj dhatu, or the bhaj word comes from service. So one who is serving Krishna and always thinking of Krishna and never forgetting Krishna, he is the highest amongst all the yogis. And whose opinion is this? Samay yukta tamo mataha. This is my opinion. So the yogis, they are at the Shanta platform. They are at the Shantras, neutral platform. They are always thinking of Krishna. They are never forgetting of Krishna, but they are not serving Krishna, strictly speaking. It's a Shantras. However, devotees, they start from the Dasyaras. They are always thinking of Krishna, always never forgetting Krishna, but at the same time, they want to serve Krishna as a servant. Or maybe Sakhyaras, somebody wants to serve Krishna as a friend. Somebody, or maybe Avatsalyaras, somebody wants to serve Krishna as a mother or a father. Or maybe Madhuryaras, the topmost rasa, where somebody wants to serve Krishna, become a servant of Krishna by becoming a lover of Krishna. So these are the various understandings. Many people aspire to go to Brahmajyoti, but the Bhagavatam says that whatever, all the demons which Krishna was killing, except Putana, they were all going to this Brahmajyoti. So what is the point of being in Brahmajyoti? Even demons can attain that Brahmajyoti. So this is Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan understanding. The least mature understanding of God is the Brahman aspect. And the highest understanding of God is the Bhagwan realization. Now, at this point of time, I have a question for all of you. How many of you are happy after getting this information? Please type in your chat box. If you are happy, if you're not happy, whatever is your state of existence, please type. Okay, happy, 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 happy. Happy is the word of the day. Very happy is also the word of the day. Okay. So now, if somebody asks, what is God, or explain me God, then I think our answer should be that God is ultimately a person, not just an energy. A Shaktiman has the Shakti. Shakti cannot possess the Shaktiman. Shaktiman possesses the Shakti. So simply saying that God is an energy is an understatement. God has multifarious energies. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. Swabhaviki, everything is working automatically. Krishna, he just thinks and everything happens. But the ultimate understanding is that these Shaktis, they reside in the personality of the Shaktiman. So if somebody asks, what is God? We should not say that God is an energy, but we should very faithfully, with all belief and understanding, we should say that God is a person. The supreme absolute truth 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 is a person. I've said it 5 times now. Now never make this mistake again. Vinita Dambal Mataji is telling he's both form and energy depending on the perspective. Yes, if your perspective is less mature, then you will say he is a form. If your perspective is more mature, then you will say he's a person who has these various energies. If the perspective is less mature, then you will say that, okay, he's just an energy, devoid of any form, nirgun, nirakar. That's a perspective. I agree to that. Vadante tattva tattvavidas. This is a perspective. But my proposal here is that as Gita course students, let's have the highest perspective. And the highest perspective is he is God. Krishna is a person. Of course, that person has this expansion. What is Brahma Jyoti? This Brahma Jyoti which you see on the left-hand most side. What is that? That is the personal effulgence coming out from the body of Krishna, which emanates the spiritual world, and which is coming in the material world slightly in the form of sun and the moon. So, the point to understand here is, very, very most important point we have to understand. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Brahmano hi pratisthaham. The basis of the impersonal Brahman is me. Because Krishna is there, so this Brahma Jyoti and Paramatma forms are there. And not vice versa. That Brahma Jyoti is the supreme, and when Krishna comes, that Brahma Jyoti takes a material form and comes in this universe, in the human society. And when he comes, he also forgets about himself, that he is God. And ultimately, he goes back to become God when he again merges. This is the Mayavad philosophy. Okay? Okay, Shashi Pandey Mataji is telling, since we cannot see as a person, we feel Krishna is energy. Because I know Shashi Pandey Mataji from a long time, so I take the liberty to speak like this. What is our qualification to see God? Do we see the ghosts and the wandering spirits around us? No. So does this mean that the ghosts and the wandering spirits are not there? In the electromagnetic spectrum, there is a few range of colors which we can see and the few ranges of color which we cannot see. Does this mean that those colors don't exist? There are so many microbes and bacteria around me, but I can't see them. Does this mean that they don't exist? Point to be noted here is that if we could really speak like this, that whatever I cannot see, I cannot hear, doesn't exist, then that means it's not a logical statement. There are so many things which I can't see or hear, but I know it is there. I can't see the intelligence of Mohan Prabhu, but I know it is there. Can anybody say that Mohan Prabhu is less intelligent? Can anybody say Shashi Pandey Mataji is not intelligent? Can anybody say our Abhishek Prabhu is not intelligent? No, they are intelligent. But of course, I cannot see their intelligence. So that means he is not there. No, he is there. He is very much there. So we should understand what is our qualification to see God. If I just suggest anybody, please pick up a phone and order Narendra Modi to come and be visible in front of you. How many of you will do that? None of you will do that, because you know it's very difficult to get the time of a person like Narendra Modi for an unimportant person like ourselves. So whom are we talking about? He's Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. There are some people who have this idea, show me God. But what qualification you have to see God? You have zero qualification. You can't even meet the Prime Minister of your country, and you are calling the Sarva Loka Maheshwaram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is accountable to your opinion. He is accountable to your mundane eyes. You can't even see properly without the specs, but he is accountable to come in front of you and appear as and when as you want. What is your qualification? And therefore, these Mayavadis, they trick us in believing that there's no God. God has no form. Or maybe atheists, you can't see God. You're worshipping this sun demigod from so many years. And did he ever come and accept your prasad? So therefore, there's no such thing. It is your belief. These are some stupid statements. I personally feel atheism and Mayavad, they are madness. They are severe madness. Atheism and Mayavad, I am the strongest enemy of atheists and Mayavadis. I don't waste my time arguing with them, but I'm completely against their philosophy. If any sane Mayavadi or atheist is there, I would really request them to study the Bhagavad Gita. And if they really want some discussion, I would want to do it, but I would not do that as a friend. Because I feel that Krishna is my father, and if someone comes and tells me that your father has no name, you don't have a father only, your father has no form, how should I take it? I'm in love with Krishna, I'm trying to serve Krishna, and here is a person who comes and says that your father doesn't exist. How angry should I become? So therefore, I'm an enemy of the Mayavadis, and not strictly speaking enemy, I'm against their philosophy. I am also compassionate to them because I try to teach to them. Right now in the session, I'm teaching to many Mayavadis, maybe 50% Mayavadis, 50% Brahmavadis, or maybe 50% devotees and 50%. We all come with various conditionings. So I spend time with them, I teach them, I give them prasad, I distribute some books. But till the end of my life, I'm going to strongly speak about the futility of this Mayavad, the futility of the material civilization, the futility of the atheism. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada has done it, my Guru Maharaj has done it. So I'm trying to walk in their footsteps. Mayavad, please explain what is Mayavad. Mayavad means to understand that Krishna has no name, God has no name, no form, no qualities. He's just some impersonal light. Basically, this Brahman realization is very close to Mayavad realization. Mayavad realization says, I am God, you are God, everybody is God. We have just forgotten that we are God. If we try hard enough, we will all become God. Let's all merge in God. There is no individuality anywhere. This is Mayavad philosophy. This philosophy was essentially propagated. Okay, this I'll take in a later session. How Mayavad philosophy came into existence. Okay, so conclusion is, similarly, God can also be perceived as Brahman, impersonal light, Paramatma in every atom, and as the Supreme Person, Bhagwan. So I just hope that my students have understood that God, Supreme Absolute Truth, is a person and not some energy. Person can have energy. This is common sense. Shaktiman possesses Shakti. But if the Shakti starts possessing Shaktiman, then that is a stupid concept. That means he is not Shaktiman. So, Bhagavad Gita 14.27, Brahmano hi pratisthaham amritasyavayasya amritasyavayasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasya cha. And I am the basis of impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness. Of course, when you get that Brahman realization, you get that constitutional position of ultimate happiness. But take it from me, the Acharyas say that all the happiness of the Brahman condensed is not equivalent to one drop of the ecstasy which the devotees of Krishna are experiencing in the spiritual world. In fact, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has said that that one drop of ecstasy of the gopis of Vrindavan can inundate all the universes of the material world and the Brahma Jyoti in one shot. That means the happiness which one gets after getting liberation or moksha, that means strictly speaking merging, not having higher knowledge, that means merging in the impersonal Jyoti, that happiness is insignificant for devotees. They don't even care for it. They don't want it also. In fact, the original definition of mukti is mukti hitva anyatha rupam swarupena avasthitah. When somebody gets situated in their constitutional position, swarupena avasthitah, that is real mukti. So you need not even get rid of this body. Even while having this body, if you have understood who are you and what is your eternal duty, you are a Jivatma and your service is to serve Krishna, then you are a Jivan Muktatma. You have become liberated even whilst having this material body. And that is the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is explaining Arjuna to become a Jivan Muktatma. Okay? So please understand, energy is always subordinate to the energetic. The source of Brahman is Krishna. This has to be understood. If somebody says Krishna is coming from the Brahman, it is wrong. Why? Because Krishna himself has told in the Bhagavad Gita, Brahmano hi pratisthaham. I am the basis of impersonal Brahman. Krishna exists, that's why Brahman exists, and not vice versa. Brahma says, Brahma Samhita, Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadanda koti shvasheshva vasudhadi vibhuti bhinnam tad brahma nishkalam ananta ashesha bhutam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose effulgence is the source of non-differentiated Brahman mentioned in the Upanishads. So these Mayavadis, they only study the Upanishads. So Brahma, the author of the Upanishads, is saying that I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose effulgence is the source of the non-differentiated Brahman mentioned in the Upanishads, being differentiated from the infinity of the glories of the mundane universe, appears as indivisible, infinite, limitless truth. So the Brahman indeed looks like indivisible, infinite, limitless truth, but the source of this is Krishna. Arjuna, maybe some people may still disagree. They may say Brahman is the highest, but let's say Arjuna actually tried to clarify this doubt 5,000 years ago. Arjuna asked, Arjuna Vacha, this is the 12th chapter, shloka number 1. This chapter is titled Bhakti Yoga. Arjuna Vacha evam satata yukta te bhaktastvam paryupasate ye chapya aksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect? Those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested? Arjuna has clearly asked this question. So at least after this presentation, nobody should say that Brahman is higher or Paramatma is higher. There should be, because okay, just listen to what Krishna says and then frame your opinion. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Veshya Mano Ye Mam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopetas Tame Yuktatmata Mataha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. Tame yukta atmataha, Krishna says. So the whole discussion ends now. Even when Krishna has made such direct statements, still the idiot Mayavadis, they will say that Krishna, when he said this, he didn't mean this. Interpretation is needed when something is not clear. If I say, bring me a glass of water, is it an unclear statement? Should you bring me a glass of milk? No, I have asked for a glass of water. Why are you interpreting? Similarly, Krishna has clearly told, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great transcendental faith are considered by me to be the most perfect. However, this less intelligent, unfortunate, useless Mayavadis, they will say, Krishna, when he said this, he didn't actually mean this, but he meant this. And what he meant, I am going to tell you. That which is not told in the Bhagavad Gita verse, I am going to tell you. This is Mayavad. And there are so many Mayavadis who are writing their own versions of Bhagavad Gita. This is the reality. Things are clear. There is no research which needs to be done. Krishna has given us everything. But we, because of our own whims and fancies and because of our own motivated purposes, we twist the statements of Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures. And because of this, the Mayavad and this atheism has wreaked havoc in this world. All the bad things which you see around is because of this only. Of course, there are some other bad things like demigod worship also, which has caused havoc. But this is the greater havoc. Telling that God has no form, no name, this is the greatest havoc. This is like the ultimate rebellion against Krishna. I hate Krishna so much that I say that he has no form only. He doesn't exist. Stupidity. 12.5. Kleshodhikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkham devadhir avapyate. Bhagavad Gita 12.5. For those whose minds are attached, now Krishna says the path of this Brahman worship or impersonal worship. How is this path? For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. Who is saying this? Krishna is saying. Krishna feels he is troublesome. It is troublesome. And just think of us. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. That means those who have a human form. It will always, Krishna has used the word always, not like now or next yuga. No, always it will be difficult and troublesome. It is like, it is easy to eat like this, but this process is trying to eat like this. Don't know whether we'll be able to eat also or not, but trouble will always be there. Advancement will be very troublesome and progress will be very difficult. Even Krishna is saying this process is difficult, but there are still some less intelligent, unfortunate people who want to take this path. And there are so many lectures on the YouTube titled, How to Realize That You Are God. 10,000 views. That is why I keep requesting all of you that please spread these videos. Please talk to people about this reality. People are going to hell because of this. Mayavad is the last snare of Maya. I repeat, Mayavad is the last snare of Maya. Where even when somebody has come out of sense gratification, even when someone has come out of the body consciousness, the Maya traps them by this last trap by saying that you are God. This is Mayavad. Okay, so now I will again, as a teacher, it is my responsibility. I again ask all of you this question. Is God a person or some light? Please send me this answer in the chat box. Is God a person or a light? Light means energy, Brahman, whatever you can say. Okay, I'm happy that people are agreeing that God is a person. In fact, where some people are very nicely putting it as supreme person. Very good. God is the supreme person. One Padmalata Mataji is writing, God is God. Okay, that is okay. 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 Some people are still writing both. I agree that it is both. But what is the higher understanding, please? At no point of time I'm saying that God is not energy. God is Brahman. God is Paramatma. But what is the highest understanding? God is a person. The supreme absolute truth is a person. Okay. Moving on. I don't want to spend much time here because I think you have got the summary. Especially in India, there is a supermarket of gods. So the question is, are there one God or many gods? There are so many temples to visit, and especially in Kali Yuga, there is a tendency. Any rich man who is capable of giving some charity to the poor is considered as God, Bhagwan. Doctor sometimes is considered as Bhagwan. Any person who can just little bit manipulate the material nature with some siddhis is also considered as Bhagwan. Anybody who does any good is considered as Bhagwan in many ways. And we have no understanding what is God. God has become a very cheap thing. Somebody who can give me 2 rotis is Bhagwan. Somebody who can give me a blanket is Bhagwan. Somebody who can send my children to school is Bhagwan. And this is the cheapness. Of course, there is one thing called as gratitude. But calling someone as Bhagwan to whom we are grateful, this is not sanity, I feel. That is also one way of showing our enviousness towards Krishna. We are ready to call this politician as Bhagwan, but don't want to call Bhagwan as Bhagwan. This is also a reflection of our own enviousness. This is my understanding. In one lecture I heard, when we are envious of others, that is our enviousness towards Krishna being reflected in our relationship with others. So coming to the question, are there one God or many gods? So I will not like to answer this question in detail. I'll just give the definition of God. The definition is Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashashasriha jnana vairagya yoschaiva sannam bhaga itingana. Bhagwan is the supreme personality of Godhead. Who has written this? Parashar Muni, the father of Vedvyas, has written this in Vishnu Puran. Bhagwan, the supreme personality of Godhead, is defined by Parashar Muni as one who is full in 6 opulences. Full strength, full fame, full wealth, full knowledge, full beauty, and full renunciation. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashashasya jnana vairagya yoschaiva. So just think of a person, now that we have concluded that God is a person, just think of a person who has, people can say they are wealthy, but who can claim that I have all the wealth? Even Kuvera cannot claim that. Who can, if there is a person who is showing all these 6 opulences in the highest possible degree, so much so that there is no one equal or nobody higher. Think of one person who can claim that I have all the strength, I have all the fame, I have all the wealth, I have all the knowledge, I have all the beauty. And I'm the biggest sannyasi or the biggest vairagi because I'm not attached to the strength, fame, wealth, knowledge, and beauty. I'm the biggest renunciant. I have all the renunciation. Think of one personality in whom we can see these 6 opulences reigning in supreme. God must be full of all these opulences. This is the definition of God. There are so many idiots in various streets and corners who are claiming themselves to be God. There is one in Karnataka. There is one, I think there is one in every state. By the way, when I said there is one in Karnataka, I'm not, okay. Many people have understood who he is. So how can someone say that they are God? This is the definition of God. Can that person claim that he has all the strength? Can he lift a Govardhan? Can he say that he's all famous? Can he say he has all the wealth? Okay, he's trying to become, but he'll never become. Does he have all the knowledge? That person looks very ugly, by the way. And forget about renunciation. There is no question of vairagya. So this is the definition of God. Another definition of God is Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattah smrtir jnanam apohanam cha vedaishcha sarvaira hameva vedyo vedanta krit vid eva chaham. 15.15. Krishna says, I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and by all the Vedas I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta and I am the knower of the Vedas. God can speak like this. Someone is claiming that they are God, but if we ask them how many hairs are there on your head, they will not be able to answer. But God can answer. How many hairs are on your head and how many hairs are on my head? He can answer everything. Why? Because he is seated in the heart of everyone. And from him comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. The purpose of the Vedas is to understand Krishna. There are some people who study Vedas for a lifetime. They are Vedantists. If you go to the Banaras Hindu University, you will find many Vedantists walking around proudly. Even in Bangalore, I have met. Earlier, I used to go to various places and take sessions. So many Vedantists came and tried to engage with me in an argument. Krishna says, by all the Vedas, I am to be known. They are claiming that they are Bhagavad Gita scholars, but even after studying Bhagavad Gita, they are not understanding that the purpose of studying Bhagavad Gita is to understand Krishna, to know Krishna, to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What kind of a Vedantist are you that you have not even understood that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? You are a Mayavadi in covering, and you are claiming this is God, that is God, and you call yourself a Vedantist? Now, when I speak like this, it appears that they are foolish. Actually, they are not very foolish. They are unfortunate. Maya apahrita jnana. The Maya Shakti of the Lord has stolen away all their intelligence and all their knowledge. Why? Because they have offended the devotees of Krishna, or the name of Krishna, or the person Krishna. So therefore, they don't have access to this secret knowledge. If you talk to them, when I was little new to Krishna consciousness, I used to go out to distribute books. So the place where I stay, many Mayavadis they stay. So they would see me as a new boy coming and trying to distribute books and all. They would catch hold of me and they would start reciting shlokas. And I was getting overpowered in those days. I was not very much expert in presenting the Krishna consciousness philosophy. And I used to, why are you selling this Bhagavad Gita? I only wrote this Bhagavad Gita. I only told this Bhagavad Gita 5,000 years ago. Like this, they used to explain me and go away. And I couldn't answer much. These kind of people, they exist. One day, one person was telling me, why are you distributing Bhagavad Gita? I only told the Bhagavad Gita 5,000 years ago. So what I did, I could see that there's a 500 note in his shirt's pocket. I took out the 500 note and kept it in my pocket. And I said, see, you are God, I am God. So everything is one. So that money is not your money, it is my money. So whether it is with you or me, it's one and the same. So at that time, no, this is my money, not your money. Please return it back to me. This is not good. At that time, the God consciousness went for a toss. You are God, I am God. But my money is not your money. Both of us are gods. Namo Narayan, Namo Narayan. This is how the Mayavadis, they'll greet each other. Namo Narayan. All are Narayans. But my 500 rupee note is mine. Just see how petty is their consciousness. They are calling each other as Narayan, but they are still stuck in that aham mameti, ye tera, tu tera, main mera, this concept. And they are saying they are liberated. They just think that they are liberated. They are completely in the clutches of Maya. And of course, they know a lot of word jugglery. They will speak, they'll quote many shlokas. They know a lot of word jugglery, but they should understand that this word jugglery and this grammatical play is not going to save them at the time of death. And this is what Shankaracharya wrote in his bhajan, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Mudhamate. This grammar, this twisting of the verses, it is not going to save you at the time of death. Therefore, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Mudhamate. O fool, Serve Govinda, serve Govinda. Do devotional service to Govinda. Who has told this? The father of Advait philosophy has told this. Moving on. Who is Bhagwan? Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvam midam protam sutre manigana iva. 7.7. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me, as the pearls are strung on a thread. It takes thousands of people. I have some friends who are working in ISRO. They tell me it takes thousands of people to keep a satellite functioning. Imagine the intelligence of Krishna. All the planets are floating in the sky and everything is working on smoothly. Did somebody make some arrangement that, okay, the earth has to be kept like this, so let's put some more petrol or something, this, that? No, everything is going on. Another argument, another corollary to the statement is that if it takes thousands of people to just keep a small petty satellite revolving in the orbit, how logical it is to say that these planets, they don't have a creator. It takes thousands of people to create and maintain a simple satellite. How logical it is to say, the atheists say like this, how logical it is to say that this whole world is just a big bang and it has no creator and everything has happened randomly by as a matter of chance, and therefore they are spending billions of dollars to make that kind of reactors. This is called as Maya Aparita Jnana. They are all PhDs, but their knowledge has been stolen away by the illusory energy of the Lord. This is the problem. When I see a mobile, I ask, oh, who is the manufacturer of this mobile? But when I see a human eye, I claim, oh, this happened on its own. So this is how foolish the atheism is. Atheists are really unfortunate people. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So according to Krishna, who are wise people? Those who are engaging in the devotional service of Krishna and worshipping him with all their hearts, they are wise people. Why? Because they know that the source of all material and spiritual world is not the boss sitting in my office or sitting at home or sitting in the community. He is Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate. Whenever I recite this verse, the expansion of Krishna, who is known as Garbhodakshay Vishnu, his image lying down on an Ananta Shesh in the Garbhodak ocean, lying in Yoga Nidra, and just his breathing, and millions and billions and trillions and quadrillions and innumerable universes are coming out from the pores of his skin. And when he breathes out, it is coming. And when he breathes in, all these universes, they again go and merge in his body. So when I read this verse, I think of that image of Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. And everything is being done by this plenary expansion of a plenary expansion of a plenary expansion of Krishna, Garbhodakshay Vishnu. All this work is being done when he's asleep. What have we ever done when we are sleeping? Other than dream stupid things and pass gas and all those things. He is creating universes after universes just in sleep. And still people say that the world has no creator. It's just a big bang. You take a piece of glass, you take a hammer and you drop the hammer on it, and then you assume that these pieces of glass will make beautiful formations, a kaleidoscope, and from this glass, a beautiful peacock feather will come, the beautiful fragrance of a rose will come, the beautiful morning scenery will come, and the beautiful music of the Gandharvas will come. You just make a big bang and everything will come out of it. If I come to your house and if I bring a big sofa with me And if I just keep it there, what is the first question you'll ask? Where did this sofa come from? And if I tell you, I just came here and all of a sudden this sofa came here. Where did it come from? It came from nowhere. How did it come? There is no reason behind it. It just came. By nature it came. Automatically, by evolution it came. These kind of statements are stupid. Give me an example of one thing which happened automatically, and I will prove it to you that it is not automatic. Of course, a foolish child, when he sees a car being driven, he may think, oh, that car is automatic, but he does not know that there is a driver behind it, or there is some kind of intelligence behind it. So we have to understand that creation implies creator. And only the most unintelligent, foolish PhDs, they say that a big bang happened and all these beautiful emanations have come out of a big bang. Please give me one practical example in your life where a big bang happened and beautiful creations came out of it. A peacock feather came out of it. The morning sunrise came out of it. The beautiful verses of Bhagavad Gita came out of it. The morality and the ethical nature in human beings came out of it. The survival of the fittest. Only the fit one has to survive. Then where does the moral and the ethics come from? If your neighbor's house is on fire, will you just run to save yourself, or will you take some buckets of water and sand and try to save that person? So where does this ethics come from? It is completely non-existent in the theory of Darwinism and in the theory of the survival of the fittest. Demons are propagating demoniac knowledge, and we are being fed that demoniac knowledge, and therefore unknowingly we are all becoming demons. Therefore, there is a need of an institution which can very nicely, in a non-sectarian way, propagate this God consciousness, Krishna consciousness, especially speaking the science of Bhagavad Gita. We want to flood the entire planet with Bhagavad Gitas and the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. We want all of you to become the preachers of Bhagavad Gita and go and teach it everywhere. Of course, the people of different religions may say, oh, I will not take a Bhagavad Gita, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim. Of course, okay. See, you also believe in God, I also believe in God. And of course, there's no limit to know about God. Here is the Bhagavad Gita. It also talks about God. You will get to know something more, maybe. Kindly take a Bhagavad Gita. Let's study it. This is the way to present the Bhagavad Gita. We are not fanatics, but we want to really help people. Moving on. Final statement. Ete chamshakalah pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. All of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. In Bhagavatam, in the 3rd chapter of the 1st canto, Shukdev Goswami is describing the various kinds of incarnations of Krishna. And then in the end, he says, all of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary. The word plenary means complete. Okay. They are either complete portions or the portions of the complete portions of the Lord. But Lord Shri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets wherever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists. Okay. Name viduhu suraganaha prabhavam na maharshayah ahamadir hi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashaha. Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences. For in every respect, I am the source of the demigods and the sages. So chapter 10 of the Bhagavad Gita talks about the opulences of Krishna. My Guru Maharaj tells me that those who are envious at heart, they should read the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. When they see the greatness of Krishna and the statements where Krishna has said, anything beautiful or wonderful which you see, think of it to be just a spark of my splendor. Oh, all the enviousness goes for a toss. Similarly, Krishna says, I am the strength of the strong, the wisdom of the wise. And these kind of statements he's making. 10th chapter is like greatness of Krishna personified. 11th chapter, he commands to Arjuna that whether you fight or whether you don't fight, I have already decided the result of this war. I just want you to become my instrument and take the credit of all these great activities. Why? Because you are my friend and because you are my devotee. Krishna doesn't want to give the credit to all these Mayavadis who are sitting in one room, simply twisting the verses of Bhagavad Gita, trying to concoct their own meanings. So with this, I come to an end to today's session. I have covered the concept of boss. I have covered, is God a person? I've first explained that the ultimate boss is God. Who's the real boss? The answer is Krishna or God. And after that, I have explained the concepts of Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan, because these are concepts which, when you talk to various people, they will have various understandings. So how to come at peace with these understandings? I just explained to you that all these understandings are correct, but the most mature or the most advanced realization or the most faithful realization or the closest realization towards God is the understanding that God is a person. The supreme absolute truth is a person. He has name, he has qualities, he has form, he has pastimes, he has feelings, he has likes and he has dislikes. When you do something stupid, he feels bad. And when you do something good, he feels good. So he has feelings. How can an energy or a light have some feelings? To say, still the Mayavadis are arguing. They will continue to argue what to do. Anyways, so this is the summum bonum of today's discussion. I would like to give away some homework. As usual, please learn the 7.7 of the Bhagavad Gita. Does anybody remember which shloka is that? 7.7. Type it out. Can you search it out? 7.7. Write it in the chat box. Which shloka was that? Yes, please. Okay, if you don't remember, then it was that shloka. Matta parataram nanyam kinchidasti dhananjaya, where he's telling that there is no truth superior to me. That shloka. So I want all of you to learn that shloka. Because people will say, oh, Brahman is the highest truth. No, Krishna has clearly said, Matta paratara nanyam. Some are there one god or many gods? So these demigod worshippers will say, Ganesha is the greatest, or Kaliya is the greatest, or Durga is the greatest. But Krishna has said, Matta paratara nanyam kinchidasti dhananjaya. There is no truth superior to me. So I really want all of you to learn that verse and meditate on that verse. And you should understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Understanding him in the form of Bhagwan is the highest understanding. This is the summum bonum of today's session. Okay? Okay, let's go on. Please answer the quiz 7.7. Learn the verse 7.7, answer the quiz. Kartik month celebrations are still going on. Today is 29th, tomorrow is 30th. Last 2 days of Kartik, take maximum benefit out of it. Any activity done in the month of Kartik gives 1000 times benefits. So please don't miss it. If a businessman knows that in this season I'm doing something and I'll get maximum benefit, then he never misses it. So we should also not miss this opportunity to be spiritually awake, spiritually conscious, Krishna conscious. Okay, tonight also there's Kartik month celebrations. Please join for it. And continue to join for the morning mantra meditation circle. Slowly with passage of time, just like Krishna says, Sa kalena mahata yogo nashtah param tapa. With passage of time, this knowledge has been lost. So therefore, I have come to re-establish it. So I'm also saying, with passage of time, the attendance in this mantra meditation circle has reduced. Kindly rekindle it. Kindly start attending it with the same enthusiasm and the same numbers. We feel very enlightened, very happy to see devotees getting up and chanting Hare Krishna. And continue to offer ghee lamps to the Radha Krishna deities or pictures. Chant fixed number of rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. My recommendation is chant at least 2 to 4 rounds every day. Read the Bhagavad Gita every day and join for our sessions. Okay? Okay. That's all for today. If there are any questions or comments, they are welcome. We'll take it for a few minutes and then we will chant one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and we will break for the day. Of course, next session is going to be even more interesting because in that session I'm going to present till now, I'm just presenting what Krishna is saying. People may say, oh, you are a devotee of Krishna, you say only what Krishna says. So in the next session, I'll present what the other demigods, devatas, scriptures, saints are saying. So it's not just what Krishna is saying, but what others are also telling about him. We'll hear that. What others are saying, we'll see that. And then we don't like our boss so much, but Krishna is the ultimate boss. Although he's the supreme boss, although he's the boss, still why everybody is madly, completely, hopelessly in love with him? What is that one quality, or what are those qualities why God is called all attractive? The word Krishna, one of the many meanings of the word Krishna is all attractive. There are many billions and trillions and zillions and innumerable names of God. But amongst all the names of God, then the word Krishna is the principal name. Why? Because the word Krishna means all attractive. He can attract everybody. So, why is God all attractive? Although he is Krishna, he is the boss. But why is he still all attractive? What quality he has, or what qualities he has? Through some pastimes, we will discuss this. And we will also see what the other great sages, demigods, devatas, and saintly people have to say. And much more is coming there in the next session. Okay, some people are mentioning the name of fake gods. Okay, thank you. I think everybody knew that. Yes, Abhishek Mishra Prabhu is telling that all the Mayavadis, they know this deep down, but they can't confess it. I've had a personal experience out of this, I'll tell you. I went to Jagannath Puri with a trip. Earlier, when Corona was not there, I used to take the Gita course students or my students, my counselees, whoever. I used to take them on trips. Either it is a one-day trip or sometimes I take a 5-day trip, 6-day trip also. So once I went to Jagannath Puri and I was seeing this person, I'll not name him, very, very respectable position in Jagannath Puri. Hardcore Mayavadi. I am God, you are God, Namo Narayan. But when I went to meet him in his house, he was worshipping a Radha Krishna deity. I caught him red-handed. And I asked him, what are you doing? So that person, he told me, I am worshipping myself. Just see. He's worshipping Radha and Krishna. He can't keep a mirror. If he really wants to worship himself, let allow him to keep a mirror in front of him and see his own stupid face and worship it daily. No, that he cannot do. As a matter of fact, I have seen that also happening. There is a place in Tamil Nadu. Okay, people should not feel offended, but there is a place in Tamil Nadu where I have seen people take a agarbatti and they actually worship themselves like this. I've seen that happening. But this Mayavadi, he was worshipping a Radha Krishna deity. Beautiful Radha Krishna. I must say, it was really beautiful. I took a picture of it also. It was made out of platinum, really nicely dressed. When you see such beautiful forms of Krishna, you feel like worshipping. When you see the ugly face of an old man, why will you worship him? So I asked him, what are you doing? He told me, I'm worshipping myself. I said, but your deities, you're saying it is yourself, but Radha and Krishna, they are so beautiful, but you are, please don't mind, but you are very old and not very good looking. In my mind, I was telling you are ugly. Then he said, oh, this is my Leela. Here, in this form, I'm beautiful. In this form, I'm ugly. This is my Leela. So then I said, but this Leela, everybody is doing. Everybody is becoming old and everybody is suffering from diseases and everybody is lusty, greedy, anger, illusioned, envious and attached. Everybody is doing this Leela. So therefore he told me, so therefore everybody is God. So I said, thank you very much, I'm going. You just see how fallen they are. Even a murderer or a rapist or a terrorist is also God for them. This is the understanding. Okay? No questions? Any questions? Please raise your hand. Otherwise, no questions, then we'll go to our japa. Next session, I will take some time to teach you how to distribute the Bhagavad Gitas. I want all of you to become book distributors. What preaching can we do? You know, when I talk to a person, when I talk to you people, I can talk for 2 minutes, 5 minutes. But if we somehow slip a book into the hand of that person, not for free, because nothing free is ever valued. Also, when they give some donation or when they give some Lakshmi, at least the printing price, that completes a spiritual circle which gives them the qualification to read and understand. So our preaching of talking to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours cannot change the hearts of the people. But if they read a Bhagavad Gita, even one word, one page, one verse, their life can change. There is no literature like the Srimad Bhagavatam in the whole of creation. Similarly, there is nothing more beautiful than Bhagavad Gita. And the easy or the best, the most cleanest and the most precise way to do preaching, which I want all of you to do, directly or indirectly, is by distributing books. So next month, I want to focus on distributing books. There is something called as Book Marathon Month. Every year in the month of December, all the ISKCON temples all over the world, all the 800 temples, all the devotees all over the world, they go out. Okay, these are Corona times, so there are some other ways to distribute books. We all try to distribute books through our ways, contacts, and influence. I personally became a devotee simply by getting a book. Someone was merciful to me. Somebody gave me a book. I took that book. I went home and I couldn't stop reading it. It was the Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, that book. I just couldn't stop reading it. And after reading it, I was convinced that there is a God and he is the Supreme Personality of God. And I want to know more about him. So therefore, there was an address written behind that. I went to that address and they gave me very beautiful, tasty khichdi prasad. And I still relish that prasad. That taste has not gone from my mouth. And in that Krishna book, I saw beautiful artwork. After seeing a drought of mundane arts, when I saw this transcendental art, I felt like nectar is, my heart felt like as if nectar was falling on the dry desert. I'm not so very good with graphical imagery. That's not my strong point. I'm just trying myself. After seeing a drought of mundane art, I was relieved to get the nectar of Krishna conscious paintings in the deserted, ignorant, some corner of my heart, something like that. So I was very happy. And then I took the Bhagavad Gita. I started attending the Gita classes, and that's how my life changed. So we have to distribute books. People are struggling because of ignorance. They don't know who is God. These days, the education is treating them that there is no God. And of course, there are some stupid people who are trying to convert people and all those things. This is the highest philosophy. Why do you want to leave this philosophy and accept, some other philosophies which may not be as mature as this, which are not mature as this? Let me tell you for clear. There is no truth superior to Krishna. There is no philosophy higher than the Bhagavad Gita. And I'm not being a sectarian person when I say this. I'm actually speaking to you the truth. This is the fact. So let's save everybody by distributing the Bhagavad Gita and save the world from materialism, save the world from atheism, save the world from nullism and voidism, save the world from Mayavad. And let's do something in our small, insignificant lifetimes. Do something so that at least we lay the foundation of a time where every town and village of the earth will be singing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Let's all become soldiers of the army of Srila Prabhupada, the soldiers of Lord Chaitanya, and lay the foundation of the time which is very soon going to come, because it is predicted. Prithvi jata ache nagar adigram sarvatra prachar hoive amar naam. Lord Chaitanya, who is Krishna himself, has already declared this, that very soon a time will come where there are as many towns and villages as there are on this planet. Everywhere the names of Lord Chaitanya and Krishna will be sung. And this is already coming true. Wherever you go, you see people dancing and singing and distributing prasad and distributing Bhagavad Gitas, and the Hare Krishna mantra is there everywhere. Okay, thank you very much. Some people are raising their hands. I'm not sure if we have time. Okay, we'll take only one question. I see two hands being raised. Maumita and Shrija. I have interacted with Maumita Mataji many times. Shrija Mataji, can you please ask your question? Please unmute and ask your question. Shrija Mataji. Okay. Okay, since Shrija Mataji is unmuted.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Please ask a question.
So I just want to ask that this is a cycle of birth and death. So it's the wish of Krishna that we choose this cycle, or we wanted to see the materialistic world, we came up here. So how is it, Prabhuji? I'm just confused about it. So yeah.
If you do you have children?
Yes.
Okay. If you have a child and if the child desires to go and jump in a kichad or a puddle, and if the child is adamant about it, what will you do? Ultimately, you let the child do what it wants. Of course, you let it happen in your supervision. But if later the child says, actually, you wanted me to jump into the puddle, will that be the right statement? No. So Krishna never wants us to leave him. In the core of our heart, in the core of our conscious heart, we also are not desiring to be away from Krishna. But because due to some reason, we became unfit to stay in the spiritual world, nobody knows what is that reason. Nobody can even tell that reason. Only when we go back home, back to world, we can ask Krishna that reason. But certainly Krishna never wants us to go back. Never wants us to leave him. Otherwise, why will he send so many saints, and why will he come taking so many incarnations, either himself or his incarnations? Somebody he sends, sometimes he sends his representatives, sometimes he sends his son, as they say, son of God. So if he really didn't wanted us to be with him, why would he take so much pain? He's surrounded by innumerable devotees who are endowed with wonderful love of God. Why should he be worried to come to this material world, and people are atheists and disagreeing to read the Bhagavad Gita, and he has no business here. He does not belong to this world also, and he has no business here also. But why does he come? Because he loves us, he wants us back. And Krishna will never allow us to go. But because we forced him, because we have that free will, Krishna, one thing which he does is that he never takes away our free will. He never forces us to love him. So therefore, exercising that minute independence which we have ourselves broken that relationship with him, and we have ourselves forced Krishna to make a facility for us here so that we can stay here. Of course, material world is created by Krishna. Krishna has sent us here, but we have forced Krishna to do this. Okay? In brief, this is the answer. Of course, there are various documentations on it. There is so much more to know about it. But this is the brief. Okay, Shrija Mataji, does this answer your question?
Ji, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else has any question? Okay. Maumita Mataji has put her hand down. So we'll go towards our japa. I'll request all of you to please turn on your videos and let's chant one round of japa in this auspicious month of Kartik. I'll request all of you to encourage your family members. Sometimes I see that only the husband is coming, or only the wife is coming, or only the son is coming, or only the brother is coming. Please try to come as a family, the family which prays together, chants together, stays together. So please come with all your family members for these sessions and come in good numbers, please. Presently, I see it's not a very good number. We have more expectations. Please give priority to Krishna consciousness. That's what I have to say. Be regular. Okay, before chanting, I have Naresh Kumar Pandit Prabhu has posted Aham Brahmasmi. Is this Mayavad? No, this is not Mayavad. Brahma means something which is eternal, something which is transcendental, beyond the modes of material nature. So being a part and parcel of Krishna, being a spirit soul, yes, I am eternal, I am transcendental. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahm. Yes, that is true. I am Brahmasmi. But to think I am Parabrahmasmi, that is Mayavad. There is a difference between Brahma and Parabrahma. That's what Arjuna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Parabrahma param dhamam pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam adidevam vajam vibhum. Krishna says, Arjuna says, you are Parabrahman. Something which is beyond Brahman, that is you. Something which is greater than Brahman, it is you. I am Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. All of you can say I am Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. But to think that I am Brahmasmi, I am Brahma, and God is also Brahma. So I am also Brahman, God is also Brahman. So everybody is Brahman. This is Mayavad. But the statement in its originality, see, Vyasdev, all the author is Vyasdev. Vyasdev is a great devotee of the Lord. He has not written even one single line of Mayavad. But the Mayavadis have interpreted it in false way and twisted it and made a fool out of themselves. So this is their major Aham Brahmasmi, Soham, and what are the other statements? Soham is there, Aham Brahmasmi is there. 2-3 statements they have. That is like their bread and butter. And they give hours of lecture on these topics. But it's all misinterpreted. Okay? Let's pray for all the souls of this planet who are struggling because of self-created difficulties. Let's pray for all the people who are struggling with the present pandemic, Corona. Let's pray for our own spiritual advancement. And let's pray so that God may give us, Krishna may give us that compassion, so that we may help ourselves and then we may go out and help others in the month of Book Marathon, about which I will explain to you in the next session. Let's all chant and perform this Yuga Dharma by chanting Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for being all here all this time. If you have not completed a round, please do complete your round once we sign off. One small tip: the mind doesn't want to chant. Our mind is a non-devotee. It doesn't want to chant. It gives so many reasons not to chant. Today in a lecture, I was hearing that whenever somebody is chanting and the mind, the only purpose or the focus at that time should be that they should just hear what they are chanting. That's all. The sound vibration of the word Krishna is so potent that it is sufficient to take us home back to God. So we just have to hear what we are chanting, and if the mind is wandering and getting lost somewhere, then we have to beat the mind. Whenever the mind starts wandering, go 2 or 3 beats back and chant more. And you tell your mind, you beat your mind with a broom or a slipper and tell it that if you are going to wander, I'm going to chant more. I'll chant 1 round more if you wander like this. So go back some beats or maybe chant another round. In this way, when you treat your mind like this, and one day, very soon, the mind will give up because the mind is a non-devotee after all. The mind will give up, and then when you will chant, it will always listen to what you have to say. Never trust your mind. And the best time to chant is the Brahma Muhurta. So I encourage all of you to join for the Brahma Muhurta chanting session. Japa is the basis of Krishna consciousness. Anybody who's just attending these classes and not chanting is on a sentimental and an emotional platform. They'll find many difficulties. Probably they'll not be able to continue with these sessions also. So please chant Hare Krishna. That is the original homework, apart from the verse number 7.7, which I have given. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. See you in the next session.